Baku is back. But this time, it's not just a race, it's a warning. Max Verstappen may have danced through Monza like a man possessed, but even he might not be safe on the streets of Azerbaijan. And he's not alone. McLaren, Ferrari, all of them could be walking straight into a storm. This track isn't normal. It's fast, tight, and brutal. Imagine Monaco, but with less room for error and twice the speed. That's how one former F1 driver described it. You can overtake there, although you have to be a bit careful with that. Certain corners, or the distances between the crash barriers on either side, are a bit narrower than normal. That's especially true in the part of the Old Town. But what really makes Baku a trap is the grip, or rather, the lack of it. There is also just very little grip, which has always been a bit of a problem. That also applies to McLaren, by the way, low grip, unpredictable conditions, and punishing curbs. This is where even champions can crack. Red Bull has struggled here before, especially over the bumps. And now, with Verstappen's car running a new floor upgrade, the question is whether he can even finish cleanly, let alone win. Curbs and bumps. That's also where Max Verstappen with the Red Bull is going to be a thing again. That will be tricky anyway, also in terms of aerodynamics. That doesn't make this kind of track any easier for them. And let's not forget, McLaren is also expected to feel the pressure. They've been dominant this season, 12 wins, closing in on the Constructors' title. But even they aren't safe. One wrong setup, one missed corner, one gust of wind. Baku punishes everyone the same. But perhaps no one is more desperate or more exposed than Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton is still waiting for his first podium in red, still trying to prove this new chapter wasn't a mistake. And Ferrari, they're the only one of the big four teams without a single win this season. Not one. It's gotten to the point where McLaren could actually win the entire Constructors' Championship this Sunday, while Ferrari watches from hundreds of points behind. They're second in the standings, but that's only on paper. The gap to the top is massive. And here's the kicker. Every single Ferrari podium this season has come from Charles Leclerc. All 5. Hamilton's best finish? 4th place. Still, somehow, there's hope. Leclerc believes Baku is one of Ferrari's last 3 chances to win this season. He's always been fast here. In fact, he's taken pole position in Baku every single year since 2021. But pole is not the problem. It's what comes after. Because this year, there's a new challenge. One that could destroy Ferrari's chances before the lights even go out. The tyres. For the first time ever in Baku, teams will be running on Pirelli's softest compound, the C6. That's even softer than what they had here last year. And while that might sound like more grip, it actually means less margin for error. Tyre temperatures in Baku can drop like a stone. Almost 30 degrees lost during a lap. And this season, the risk is even greater. The tyres go cold on the long straights, and then drivers are asked to slam on the brakes into tight corners. If the rubber isn't warm enough, it's over. Ferrari knows this. They've already seen the warning signs. Simulations show they could struggle with cooling, and if rain hits, which it might, those problems get even worse. That's the nightmare. Cold tyres, no grip, and nowhere to run. One slide, one lockup, one moment of hesitation, and the whole weekend could collapse. And yet, there's still belief. Leclerc's data from Monza, his hunger for a win, Hamilton's quiet determination. It all points to a team refusing to give up. But time is running out. For Ferrari, for Lewis, for this season. And Baku doesn't care about hope. Now here's where it gets even more tense. Ferrari isn't just battling their own demons, they're fighting the clock. With only a few races left this year, Baku could be their last realistic shot at redemption. And yet, even with all their preparation, all their data, the odds feel stacked against them. The softest tyre compounds being used this weekend, C4, C5, and the brand new for Baku C6, were chosen because of the low grip and low abrasion on the asphalt. But that decision might backfire badly for Ferrari. Their car already struggles when the tyres cool too quickly. And in Baku, tyre temperatures don't just drop, they plunge. That's not just theory, it's happened before. Sudden 30-degree temperature losses that left drivers with no grip mid-corner. For Ferrari, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Their car relies heavily on keeping those tyres in the right window. If they fall outside it, the car becomes nervous, unpredictable, and borderline undrivable. Add the threat of rain into the mix, and it becomes a nightmare. Forecasts for Saturday and even Sunday aren't consistent. Some say the race will stay dry, others warn of up to 80% chance of rain on Saturday, and even a small risk of thunderstorms. For a team already dancing on the edge, any drop of water could send everything spinning out of control. And then, there's the wind. Strong gusts are expected during qualifying. That's when the cars are light, on edge, and vulnerable. In Baku, a sudden gust at the wrong moment can ruin a lap or even send a driver into the wall. Qualifying is already a game of inches. Now, it's a game of inches plus the wind. But not everything is doom and gloom. Despite all the risks, Ferrari has some weapons to fight back. Their simulations actually suggest that Baku's layout might suit their car. Long straights, followed by heavy braking zones and tight corners. It gives them a chance to use their straight-line speed, especially in qualifying. And there's still Charles Leclerc. He's been nearly perfect on Saturdays in Baku. 4 years running, he's taken pole here. That record matters. It means he knows how to thread the car through these narrow streets. He knows how to find the grip when no one else can. The problem, as always, is converting that into a win on Sunday. Leclerc is already calling Baku one of their last hopes this season, along with Singapore and Las Vegas. But Baku is first. Baku is now. And what about Lewis? It's hard to believe, but he still hasn't made the podium in a Ferrari. Not once. For a 7-time world champion, that's not just frustrating, it's personal. This weekend could change everything. Or it could end in silence again, with more questions than answers. The team has tried to learn from Monza. Leclerc finished 4th there, Hamilton 6th. They've used that data to prepare a solid setup baseline for Baku. But when the lights go out, numbers can't save you. Not on these streets. And behind them, the pressure keeps mounting. McLaren are on the brink of winning the Constructors' title. If they outscore Ferrari by 9 points and don't lose too much ground to Red Bull or Mercedes, it's over. The trophy's theirs. That's how far behind Ferrari really is. Second in the standings, but hundreds of points adrift. And Red Bull? Still dangerous. Verstappen's car may not love the bumps, but if anyone can tame the chaos, it's him. He's seen it all. And McLaren, with Oscar Piastri at the front, are laser-focused. They won't make it easy. So here we are. The walls of Baku are closing in. Every team has something to lose. Every driver has something to prove. Will Ferrari finally break the curse? Can Leclerc turn pole into glory? Will Hamilton find the moment he's been chasing all year? Or will Baku strike again, unpredictable, unforgiving, and unrelenting? One race, one shot, and no second chances. Your move, Ferrari.